the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself, I felt it in.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. I am David Dollars, back on the show. Wasn't able to make the show Monday night. I had a family emergency, but I'm back here today on Wednesday. I got Tomo, Carl, and Jamo with me today. How y'all doing today, fellas?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad you're back here, man. How was the flight?
It was good, man. I flew first class. They gave me a penthouse suite. Had tickets waiting for me, so had my name, had a limousine driver. It was good. It was good. I like the view. I see why the Wizards like Cancun so much.
There you go. I sent Joe to pick you up, man. I told him, man, you new here, so you gotta go pick Dave up. So that's why he's not here.
I wasn't sure how to get here, so good thing I had a good driver. Joe drives Uber, so he was able to make sure I get good service.
Carl, J-Mo, what's up with you guys, man?
Man, blessed to be back, man. It's always good to be on, talk some good sports, congregate with my fellas. Shout out to the whole Refuse to Lose family. Let's get it.
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Let's get it. Ready to debate.
That's it?
That's it. I ain't got too much to say.
That's cool. Dave, I know it's been a while, man. I know you down, man. But
hey, I ain't down. I'm good. Look, turn me up. It's Wednesday, turn me up. Up. Let's get it, man. Like I said, it's Wednesday. Like I was telling people in the studio, we can call it way back Wednesday. Way back when the Pistons were good. So way back when the Wizards could make consistent playoff runs. It's good. It's Wednesday, so let's get it.
You take all the shots you want, man. It's cool.
Hey, I got to take my shots now because I already know some shots gonna be coming my way since we talked about certain things. So I got to do what I can now before I get shot. I ain't got no. So. But make sure you guys like this video, subscribe, share to the network on YouTube. We're doing great. We already, I think we talked about this before. We're already over 4,000 watch hours. We're a little under 300 to 1,000 subscribers. So we appreciate everyone that's been watching. All the Refuse to Lose family. That includes, Carl and Jamo, who's been here for forever since we started. So it's great. Tom, I'll go ahead and talk about those IG chats that we have.
Man, so we gotta bring these up where we at because we gotta make sure they're on the screen because we got a lot of company here today. We got J-Mo, our returning NBA analyst. I want to say the greatest. I'm gonna give you the title because you own the title right now. And then I'm gonna give Carl, literal C, Carl Stradamus. These guys are a part of the chat. Now I gotta say that because you be right. When you right, you right. But when you wrong, you admit you're wrong. So I gotta hats off to you for that. And this is what you get when you're in these chats. You get the latest news updates, but you also get hold on. Is somebody in a windstorm? Who got their fan on?
That might have been my fan.
Oh, all right, it's all good. This is like the weatherman. You can't come out here. It's a hurricane. Make sure y'all join these chats on Instagram, man. Hit us up at Refuse to Lose Sports. That's Refuse, the number 2 Lose Sports. And the chats we have to offer, we have NBA/WNBA. We have the NFL chat. We have MLB. Hats off to Teddy. Baseball with Teddy. That's another show on the network. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check that show out. We have college football. We have college basketball, both men's and women's. And we have you're gonna say combat sport, but if you see it on the screen, it's boxing mixed in with a little bit UFC and some wrestling. And again, to join all of these chats, just hit us up at Refuse, the number 2 Lose Sports, and we'll add you to those chats. And you'll be a part of a great community. Some of us have anger issues in the chats, but don't worry about it. They'll be friendly after the team wins a couple games. Take it, let you take it away, Dave.
And this all I gotta say. This is one of the people used to say this is one of the slowest times when it comes to sports, but I think it's one of the best times because now we can really focus on baseball and the WNBA, something that a lot of places don't, something a lot of sports shows don't necessarily talk about a lot, but I feel like we have the opportunity to blow that up. Like Tomo said, shout out to Teddy with BWT. I was unable to make the show last Thursday, but I will be on this Thursday. So it's gonna be me, Gene, Jovan, and Teddy tomorrow talking about the Red Sox and Yankees series that's about to come up again this weekend. We had one last weekend. Red Sox won 2-1. So really pretty good about that. But Tom, I'll go ahead and let's start with these topics. But enjoy the show today, you guys.
Oh yeah. So before we get to that, my bad, Carl. I forgot you are NFL analyst of the year. I want to give respect where it's due because we're versatile when you come to Refuse to Lose. You know what I mean?
I took that personal, Dave.
But guess what? You're not the only one that took something personal. Jokic took something personal too when the world said he wasn't the best player in the NBA. And I don't know if you all know this song. Since it's way back Wednesday. Joker come out on the court and he say these words: "I'm just trying to be me, doing what I got to do, proving what I got to prove." And some people think that I am just sitting on top of the world. So my question to you guys is Joker the undisputed best player in the world? And I'm gonna start with you, J-Mo.
Okay, so man, shouts out to Jokic, man, and Denver Nuggets first and foremost, NBA champions. Congratulations. It's a big deal whether we hype it up or not. It's a championship. If it was one of our teams, we'd be going crazy. So yeah, shouts out to them. I think that. I think he is. I think he has the claim of the undisputed best player in the world. You look at the last 3 years, he's been either the MVP or in the MVP conversation. So it's not like the regular season or him being one of the best players according to the voters is a problem. He just had a historic playoff run. The only player in finals history to put up a 30, 20, and 10 game. He averaged 24, 11, and 9 in the regular season. That's without rounding up. He went up to 30, 13, and 9 in the playoffs. And he averaged 30, 14, and 7 in the finals. Jokic has been going crazy. He's the first player to lead the playoffs the entire postseason in points, rebounds, and assists. He's the first player to get 500 points, 250 rebounds, and 100 assists in one playoff run. Like, Jokic is historic. Every time we bring up one of his stats, it's compared to like Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell or one of these all-time greats. So, man, I've been saying this for a while. I don't even know why we've not been hyping up Jokic. Luka Doncic get all this love. Jokic is the same thing, except he got MVPs. Why isn't Jokic getting all this love? So, like, he's dominant in multiple ways. So if you double team him, he can score 8 points and dominate the game. So I think he has the claim to be the best player. They gave it to Giannis. Giannis won 2 MVPs, got the championship. They gave it to Giannis. Jokic got his championship after he almost won 3 MVPs in a row. So, I think he has the claim to the best player in the world. There is no LeBron right now. LeBron had, like, no matter who was winning championships, the Warriors won a few, the Spurs won. Even when Dirk beat him, LeBron was still considered the best player in the world because people just knew. There's nobody like that in the NBA right now that's just standing out over everybody else. And right now, Jokic got it.
Carl?
I know my answer. A lot of people not gonna like, but I still gotta go with my boy Steph. I'm sorry, man. I know he didn't go to the finals of the Western Conference Finals this year, but it wasn't his fault. He still averaged 29.4 points a game this year, which was higher than the year last year when he won the championship. He averaged 42.7% from three, which I say 43. Yeah. Now I know I'm literal, so that's why I'm asking y'all. So 43,
Yeah, 43 is
Okay.
cool.
49% from the field in total. He was top 7 points per game, and then he had the game 7 against the Kings, which was historic until Tatum broke it the next round, game 7. Sorry, J-Mo, but um, he's still playing at a high level at 30, 35. Now you can say Braun's playing at a high level at 38, but you can tell Braun is taking a step back a little bit from his prime at 38. Steph, I think with Steph, like I said, Steph improving his points per game, but which was improved by like 4 points, mind you. I don't know. I just still think he's the best player in the world. I think Jokic is right there, though. Obviously, I think Jokic is up there. I love Jokic. Like J-Mo said, J-Mo took all the points. Um, like you said, everything you bring up historically is compared to like Wilt or like I think he had something with Jordan in it. If I'm not correct, if I'm correct, like no doubt, Jokic is for sure a top guy in this league. But I just me personally, I still think it's Steph, man.
Dave.
I'm going with Jokic. It's pretty much just like J-Mo said. We gave it to Giannis after he won two back-to-back MVPs, and then he won the Finals MVP. Jokic did the same thing. He won 2 MVPs, could have won 3 in a row. He averaged a triple double in the regular season, just about, and then in the playoffs, he upped his game. Upped his game, beat the Timberwolves. Was it 4-1 or 4? Then he went in the next round, beat the Phoenix Suns 4-2, blew them out in Game 6, and they're on their home court, and then beat the Lakers, swept them, swept LeBron, AD, and the Lakers, and then beat Miami in 5 games. Jokic played a good game every single game in the finals. He's done everything he needed to do, and just to kind of go with this comment, when Steph was targeted eventually by the Lakers. Jokic was targeted defensively by Miami. He played well defensively. This entire Denver Nuggets team played well defensively, and they won the championship. But I do agree that there's no LeBron in this league right now. There's no one that's dominant. That's the that's the real undisputed best player in the world. So I would say he's the best player in the world right now, because that could easily change next year or the year after. Because there's no one that definitely there's no, like I said, there's no LeBron, there's no Mike, there's no Kobe, there's no that one person where everybody's like, yeah, it got to be him. Because just last year we said it was Giannis, and then early this year before the playoffs we said that Embiid was better than Jokic. Not everybody, but some almost majority everyone said that Embiid was better than Jokic. But as we can see, Jokic is the one that's the last one still standing. So it could definitely be interchangeable within the next year. Who knows who it could be next year? Right now, it has to be given to Jokic. He's the one player that was consistent all year long. He's been consistent the last 3 years without a healthy team. With a healthy team this year, he took them all the way to the finals and won. So I would say it have to be Jokic.
Carl, I agree with you on Steph, but I gotta say it's Jokic. Right now. Just the things that he's done throughout his career, even in this playoff run as well. He averaged a triple-double in the regular season, came into the playoffs and said, oh, y'all thought it was a regular season stat? I'm going to do it again. And like I said on the recap show of the finals, I think he was 3 assists away from averaging another trip dub in the finals. And he played consistent. I want to say he played consistent throughout the playoffs. There was not a game where you were just like, where did Joker go? Except for that one game. I think he scored like less than maybe... Nope. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm not going to throw that out there because I'm not precise on my point. But what I will say, yeah, in the world, Joe, in the world.
If you're in the chat, you know.
Yeah, I know. I've come around. I definitely said no, but now I have to. He shut me up, man. He came out there, he showed, and he delivered. The one game where they said they wanted him to score only. Remember, they said, Miami, make him a scorer. They lost that. I mean, the Nuggets lost that one game, but then he bounced back and said, okay, if you all want to make me score, then I'm going to shoot, but I'm going to also still find a way to make my players around me better. And that's another thing that Joker brings to the table. Steph does that as well. I won't say he don't, but with Joker, it's just like you rarely see a center do this. And even look at the debates that people are having now. They're saying like they went from Joker just being like, oh, yeah, he's a nice guy in Denver to now talking about him being one of the top 5 centers in the league, maybe even top 3. So if you make that big of a jump and you have the stats in the game to prove it, you gotta kind of say he's the best player in the world right now. And he also wanted to go home after he won. He's like, I only want to be here for the parade. Like, y'all can have that. I just want to go home.
I think that like I think that what separates Jokic is his passing. Like no lie, I know it sounds like it's very obvious, but what separates him is his passing because like he can do whatever you need him to do. Like I used to feel this way about Chris Paul. I used to feel like Chris Paul only averages between 18 and 22 points a game. Is because like he comes into the game and figure out what's needed. He's like the perfect point guard. Some games he'll give you 30, some games not now, but prime Chris Paul. Some games he'll give you 30, some games he'll give you 17. Like it depends on what's needed. Like I feel that way about Jokic. And the fact that he's a big man, he's gonna score more than the average guard just because he's gonna hit the ball by the rim off rebounds. Point guards or people driving to the basket are gonna pass and bail out. Like he has an advantage over Stephen Curry as far as being the best player in the league just because of his size. So Jokic is nice, bro. And it's not like it's a crazy thing to say because the last 2 years, the analytic people have been trying to make Jokic the best player. He won 2 MVPs. Like somebody think he the best player for 2 seasons. It wasn't just one, it was 2 seasons, almost 3 seasons. And then he got the championship. So I don't see how you could argue against the fact that he's the best player in the world.
So I just want to say, like, I could also kind of use that against y'all in a way because it's so hard for a point guard, like you said, to be considered one of the best players in the league. And Steph is considerably up there every year. Another thing I want to say is that with Jokic, whenever there are times where Jokic is struggling or whatever, he has guys like Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon and MPJ, except for, I don't know what happened to MPJ games, 2 through 4 in the finals? I don't know. But he has somebody always right there to step up with it for him whenever he needs to. Like, example, the game 3 against the Lakers, Jamal Murray had 30. Jokic was able to close it in the second half. Steph didn't have that. Clay, we don't know what happened to Clay. Clay, great regular season. Where were you in the postseason? Jordan Poole. Was Jordan Poole an NBA player in the postseason?
Nah, he was one of us, honestly.
I think the Monstars got him in the postseason. So I don't know what happened to Jordan Poole. Like, and then Wiggins was coming back. He needed a couple games to shake off the rust from whatever he had to deal with. I'm glad everything's okay now with Andrew Wiggins, but he didn't have a guy. He didn't have multiple guys like that can take over whenever your Jokic needed somebody to take over. It was all Steph all the time. So when Joe says the Lakers targeted Steph defensively, yes, because he didn't have no, like, if you take Steph out of it, who's going to step up? Normally somebody would step up, but this postseason nobody stepped up. And then you said, Dave, you said that Miami targeted Jokic defensively. Y'all don't have the size to bother Jokic defensively at all. Y'all biggest players, Bam or Cody Zeller. Bam is a power forward in my opinion, and Cody Zeller is no offense to Cody Zeller, but he's old. He was what, Indiana, drafted out of Indiana like 10 years ago.
There's no way to take offense to Cody Zeller. He's Cody Zeller.
So no, hey, look, I say no offense to Cody Zeller because I remember you at Indiana, bro. You was a dog. Like, hey, look, this is here for a reason. I remember you, bro. But yeah. I feel y'all. I feel y'all with Jokic. I love Jokic. Like I said, he's up there for me for sure. No arguments if you have him there. I just feel like Steph, in my opinion, is still there.
I think that Steph is small. Like, they didn't target him on defense. Like, he's little. The Lakers are a big team. He's like the smallest guy out there. Last year it was the time for you to make this argument when he had help. Because last year he had help when he was in a slump or whatever the case may be. He had Jordan Poole. He had Andrew Wiggins to guard the best players. So, I mean, Jokic went out swinging last year against the Warriors. So, like, where was Jokic's argument? The same way you making Steph's argument right now, I could have said that about Jokic last year or the year before when he was winning MVPs. Stephen Curry not winning MVPs right now. Jokic is winning MVPs and winning the rings, or one ring. So right now, he has to have I don't see how you can make an argument for Steph, unless you just have like a preference. Because I mean, recent memory, we just seen what just happened. This is the first time Jokic had his team healthy since the bubble. Like
Facts.
we could argue that he could have been winning rings this whole time. We don't know.
Facts.
I
But
also want to make this point. My bad, Tomo.
go ahead.
I don't know if this has anything to do with the argument, but we gotta the media and everybody gotta stop saying Jokic won the ring without an All Star and all that. Because Jamal Murray averaged buckets. I don't want to hear about no All Star appearances.
You know they
Jamal Murray
got
averaged buckets, man. Certified second option. I just want to put
to.
that out there.
Nah, I'm glad you put that out there because you already know what time it is. Like Dave said earlier in the show, the WNBA is happening, MLB is happening, but they got to find some way to keep the narrative going to keep NBA talks around.
Mm.
You know that's why. But if we talking about go-to guys, you had something you want to respond, or you good, Carl?
I just wanted to say Jamal Murray probably didn't make an All Star because he needed the beginning of the season to shake back. You know what I'm saying? He's been out for a long time, and he
Okay.
started off rusty. Like if I remember correctly, before college basketball started, Jamal Murray didn't play too great in the beginning of the season. I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, he didn't play too great. But he needed to shake the rust off from the ACL. Like it's just the way athletics work.
That's true. And since we speaking of athletics, because we seen someone have an okay regular season, but then they turned up in the playoffs, but then they kind of got burnt out in the finals. We want to talk about Jimmy, Hemi, or who is he? I gotta ask the question: what did this playoff run tell you about Jimmy Butler? And Dave, the floor is yours.
Told me something that I already know. A lot of people feel like he's not. A lot of people feel like he's not the kind of player that can lead a team to a championship. That has yet to be seen, of course. But all I can say is Jimmy has taken a team that not a lot of people thought was good this year because of you could say injuries or lack thereof of a roster. 3 out of 4 years he's been there. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals. 2 years he went to the finals. Yeah, I get one was a bubble, but he took them this year when they were the AFC first playing team to make it to the NBA Finals. Now, when he got to the NBA Finals, he did not play up to par at all. As the number one player, he didn't play the way he should have. They could say it was an injury. They could say it was some issues going on with his dad being in the hospital. And apologize. Sorry, Jimmy, if something happened to your dad. I lost my father when I was young, so I pretty much know how that can be. So I understand that. But this is the NBA Finals. It's the NBA Finals. You're the best. You're supposed to be the best player on the Miami Heat, and in the finals, it looked like Bam was the best player. So Jimmy, if there's something that you need to do, I'm not sure what it is. Whether it's, I mean, I guess it's too late in your game, it's too late in your career to develop a different kind of offensive, handle or other
Never too
moves.
late.
But I mean, there's other things you got to do. It's either get Jimmy another star, because people don't believe he could do it by himself, even though he's gotten them there by himself within two of the last 4 years. There are other players who have better rosters who haven't been able to do that. KD is one of them. So, I mean, yes, I understand KD has also been injured, but we've had injuries on this team as well. And I'm not comparing Jimmy to KD. I'm not saying he's better at all. Let's not get that misconcepted. But I'm just saying I believe that he is a number one. That's just my personal opinion. People can disagree or agree, but Jimmy has done what he was supposed to do. Whether come on, Kevo, really? That's funny.
Yeah, yeah. Thought you seen that earlier.
No, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to really get my points off. But I think Jimmy can't be a number one. He just has to make sure that he steps up when it counts. He didn't have. If he had given us 2 games that he did in the bubble, this could be a different. This could be a different talk. If he had 2 games where he had not even like a 40-point triple double, but 30, 35, something like that, Jimmy, you didn't do that at all. In the NBA Finals, and that one game we got wasn't because of you. That was because of Bam and the role players. And every team, like Tomo has said, every championship team, your role players get you one game, your second best player gets you one, and your best player is supposed to give you two. You didn't give us one, so you gotta do better. I expect more from you. That's why a lot of people don't consider you a superstar because you don't do this when it counts. Um, so it's you gotta step up. Like I said, I still believe Jimmy's the number one, but more than likely we're gonna have to make some moves to be able to win a championship.
All right. So Eric Spoelstra said when they won the Eastern Conference Finals, he played a motivational video for the team. I think Jimmy Butler should have watched The Lion King on the flight to Denver, because that scene where he was like, remember who you are. That's all he needed in this moment was just to remember who he was before they got here. Because Jimmy, with that 50 points against the Bucks, he was like, man, I was one of the people that said it every series. I was like, man, Miami can't score. How they gonna win this game? How they gonna win this series? How they gonna do this? And they shut me up every time. And then next thing you know, they get to Denver, and all the questions I had about every other team in their playoff run, Denver actually did it. It was like, well, they can score, but they're not gonna get over 100 points. We're gonna stop that. When they run this 2-3 zone, Denver was like, all right, we're gonna check out of that. But also, it was just the motivation, like the same Jimmy Butler that we seen in this playoff run with the timeouts and just amping people up when plays was happening. It just wasn't there. So I think maybe it was off the court issues that were kind of like messing with him a little bit. But sometimes you just gotta like leave that in the locker room, and when you get on the floor, like let that be your safe space. Just get all of your aggression out on the court. And we missed that in these finals. And it kind of reminded me of the bubble. When he got to the bubble, he was just burnt out. We seen the memes. We still got him there where he was just like leaning over. But what this run taught me, it do. But what this run taught me was, like everyone said, he is who we thought he was. Dave, I'm gonna ask a question, but I'm gonna wait till everyone else go to ask this because you said something about a number one. If you in the chat, you know where I'm about to go with this. But to me, I think Jimmy Butler is the great kid to somebody else's play, and maybe they can do a house party one, house party two. But right now, he just needs some help. Like to ask him to be that next level player, I think you all asking for too much from him. Carl.
All right, so my lesson gonna be a little different because I've been a Jimmy Butler from the roof guy for a while now. But what this playoff run has taught me is that one, Jimmy Butler has a superstar attitude. He has superstar moments, but it hurts me to say it. He's not a superstar, and I've been arguing this for a while now. And this series has brought me to my senses. I'm sorry. When you play, it's not even the fact that he played bad. It's just he wasn't even aggressive. That's not who you're not the not aggressive person. I know that's a double negative. English major's gonna kill me, but whatever. You are an aggressive player.
He was so
You
passive.
didn't even play with like yourself in the finals. Forget all the Caleb Martin didn't show up, and I'm very disappointed about that as well. Even though he played better, but he still didn't play as good as I was hoping to. Forget Gabe Vincent, terrible 3 games. Forget all that. You have to be aggressive. This is on you. This is your team. This is why you're here. You have to be aggressive. You have to give your team a chance. You have to set the tone. Follow me. I'm gonna lead y'all here. You didn't do that. You were too passive. You was hoping. I mean, I don't want to say you was hoping everybody else would finally carry you, but that's what it looked like on the floor. And in terms of Jimmy's father, we don't know if that's true or not, so I don't want to bring anything to that. But I also do realize that Jimmy Butler is one of the most strong-minded players in the league. So I do feel like he could probably compartmentalize different things in his head for, like you said, to make basketball his safe space and worry about the rest after the game is over. So I don't want to use that at all because we don't know the situation. We don't know if it's real or not. So I don't really want to use that. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, man, I was very disappointed. I said so after the series was over. I just didn't recognize him. I started to recognize him game 5 in the fourth quarter, but that's too late. It's too late. You're making a last-ditch effort, but it's too late.
Way too late.
And the last thing this series has taught me is that Jimmy don't necessarily need a number one. He just needs another bucket getter. He just needs a guy who can take the offensive pressure off his shoulder. He don't necessarily need a Dame. He don't necessarily need a Bradley Beal. Well, I don't know if Bradley Beal's the number one, but he just needs a guy who, where if I don't got it, he needs a guy that could be like his Jamal Murray. He needs a guy where, hey, look, I ain't got it right now. Go score, go score, do your thing, go get a bucket. I don't think that's Tyler Hero. I just think they need to make a move to get a bucket getter. Oh, my screen. Just a better bucket getter. That's it, and that's it for me.
Go ahead, J-Mo.
Look, man, what you just said, Carl, I don't agree with at all. You said that he's a guy that doesn't need a number one. He just needs another Jamal Murray, a Jamal Murray type guy. He can't. They won't win with a Jamal Murray because he's not a Jokic. All right, he's not a number one. It's over. Okay, he should have maximized his opportunity to shut everybody up about him being a superstar. I think it's a wrap as far as him being a superstar and a true number one, which is like not a knock on you as a basketball player. It just seems like a knock because right now we're comparing you to some superstars. But I think the playoff run to me proved like it didn't show me anything I didn't already know. He's one of the all-time great competitors. Uh, he's an overachiever, whether he wants to believe it or not. Um, like the Bucks series and the Celtics series, nobody in the world thought they were going to win. Even the year they went to the finals in the bubble, nobody in the world thought they were going to win. So it's not like he has these great regular seasons and he consistently shows us he's a great player. Um, I just don't think he's a superstar. He's an all-time great competitor. Like you said, Carl, he has superstar moments and a superstar attitude, but I just don't think he's that guy. He's not the cream of the crop. I mean, he didn't even average the most points on his team in the finals. And as much as we talk about Bam, like I think that speaks volumes in itself. You think any of these other guys would have let Bam average more points than them in the finals? I think that if Dame comes over there, Dame is the number one. Like he should be, at least in my eyes. Um, Jimmy Butler is a great player. He's a good player, a very good player, and I just don't think he's the cream of the crop. I don't think he's a Giannis. I don't think he's a Stephen Curry, a Kevin Durant, a Luka Doncic. I don't think he's one of those guys. I think he would need somebody like a Dame at least. It got to be at least a Dame. You know, anything less than Dame, it's not going to solidify them back to the finals. Like Boston could flip a switch and they can come back with somebody less than Dame, and they can come back with Bradley Beal, and Boston can flip a switch and beat them still. So, like who's to say if they come back with Bradley Beal, they'll beat the Bucks again? Like I don't, if they're healthy. I'm not ready to say that. So, it's a great playoff run. They're definitely one of the top teams in the East, but if they don't make a change, like they're not going to come back as I think teams are going to look at Miami, the top teams in the East, like the Celtics and the Bucks. I don't know about the Celtics. The Celtics, they got some mind games, but a team like the Bucks, they're going to look at it as, all right, we're not going to sleep on them. Like we're not going to sleep on them this time. They're not like worried about y'all all season though. You know, like all right, that's the team we're going to have to run through. I think they just going to look at y'all as the team not to sleep on, but. Like I don't think Jimmy Butler's the cream of the crop, man. He's a very good player, but get into the club don't mean nothing if you can't get in. So he got there, but they didn't win a chip. So
you saying it was like from the wood, he got to the dance and he only left with one number, but he ain't leave with the number.
Man, then he said, I'm gonna hold the next one. Hold the next L.
Hold on. But hold on, I want to say this though. I think if they do get a Bradley Beal with the team, it depends on what other players they bring around. So I say Butler, Beal, Bam. Damn, that's crazy. That's 3 Bs. Better business.
Let's not bring up 3 Bs, okay? I remember that in a different sport.
Oh man. Okay. So just thinking about it like that. with role players, I don't know. They could probably get the Bucks again. I think they can get the Bucks again. But to me, I feel like the player that Jimmy best played with was like D Rose. So I agree with you on the Dame situation because he was just able to be himself, like get some buckets here, play some defense. But if you really need points, if you need scoring, then D Rose can get you that clutch bucket, or he can go and finish the game. You know, he needs somebody he can feed off of. He didn't have that as much because Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin, they were there, but they were inconsistent. He needs somebody consistently that he can feed off of.
That's what I meant, by the way. But the whole Jamal Murray, he just needs a guy where he don't got it.
Yeah,
That somebody could take off the offensive pressure off his shoulder. Because when Jimmy don't got it, Jimmy already not a great shooter.
Yeah.
So and he don't, like everybody say, he don't got a bag. His bag is literally Georgia. Why? Anyway, so when Jimmy don't got a bag, so if you put somebody lengthy on him, he's going to just try to drive and beat him off the dribble to the cup. Which, if that don't work, then he's just going to stop, try to pump fake. And as you can see at the end of Game 5, when he tried that, he threw a turnover late in the game, which basically sealed this 4-1 for Denver. So he needs a guy where, all right, I can't. They got a lengthy guy on me. I'm off right now. Hey, take over. It's your show right now until I can shake back.
I think.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
see,
know.
I don't see that's the problem I have right there. Like when Jokic was missing Murray, it was like, okay, Jokic can't score 50 every game. You know what I mean? Like Jimmy didn't go down swinging.
He
Jimmy,
did with the 8 points.
Bro, chill out, bro.
that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if he can punch with the big boys. That's what I'm saying. Like on a consistent basis, that's what a superstar does. Like you don't just have I, I don't know how else I can explain it. And then the proof is in the pudding. Like he averaged 21 points in the finals, and nobody is saying a thing. Like as far as him choking or nothing, because he wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Like
No, no, no.
that's the narrative that the world has around Jimmy.
I
Like the
think
world knows he's not a superstar, true number one. It's
I
just
think the
they're
disconnect.
marveling at his run. Go ahead, my bad.
I think the disconnect here is I'm already saying, like, I have to come to the realization he's not a superstar. That's so I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying they don't need a Dame per se. Even though I would hate y'all if y'all get Dame, because I don't like y'all, and y'all get my favorite player, I would definitely not like y'all. But
you'll be
I
all
don't
right.
think they have to necessarily go for a Dame. I just think they need to go for a guy that can consistently, like a CJ, maybe in a sense, like a CJ McCollum.
Well,
They
if
go
that's the
for,
case, then go get Bill.
It's not going.
No, Bill costs too much, man.
yeah,
No,
that's a
Hey,
fact.
It's
look,
not
it's no
going to
no.
state
cut it.
tax. You be all right.
Heck no. 250? No, nope. I'm
I
good.
mean,
I
you
think
might
I
as well
saw him
say
like
Tyler Hero healthy,
57 one year.
but you did say you ain't think Tyler Hero was that. So
Yeah, but like I said,
Man, what was your question you had for me, Tom? You said you had a question for me.
No, J-Mo actually said it, so I don't have to say it no more. I was gonna say, speaking of number ones, now y'all see, but J-Mo said he's not a true number one, so we all can agree that this playoff run, Jimmy Butler is who we thought he was.
Man, I get it, but I
not
don't
what I
see
think.
anyone else. I don't see anyone else that um that is better than Jimmy or worse that was able to take a team like this far. I mean, we've seen people with better teams not get this far, so that's what my argument is. But I get how everybody else feel, but I feel like no one else can prove that, and no, that anybody else that plays like this goes crazy in the playoffs like this is able to take their team to the finals. So
No, that's a
I mean,
fact.
it's
yeah,
cool.
but see, that's the thing though, Dave. He he doesn't dominate like he doesn't dominate in the regular season on a consistent basis, and make these playoff runs on a consistent basis. He doesn't have the scrutiny that a superstar get. Like all of that stuff matters. You know what I'm saying?
I
All of
I'm
that
not
stuff
I'm
matters.
not I'm not saying he's a superstar. I agree he's not a superstar. I'm not saying that he's like one of the one of
He
the
he's
top
not he's not a number one either.
10.
But we do know who is number one: the Denver Nuggets, and they won everything. So we got to ask about the coach. Right after they was hoisting the championship, Mike Malone comes out and he was like, "Oh, we're not done. We're not just here for one. We want one more." And he didn't do it like LeBron did. Not one, not two. No, my bad, Dave. My bad. But my question is, do y'all like or dislike the dynasty? Malone was talking about a dynasty right after the win. And I'm gonna start with you, Carl.
Yeah, of course, I love it. Oh, why not? Let's just read off some players and some ages I got right here. So Jokic, is 28. Jamal Murray's 26. Aaron Gordon's 27. Michael Porter Jr. is 24. And the young guy, Christian Barnes, 22. And Bruce Brown is 26. I'm going to stop there because that's like their main core six. That's young. That the oldest guy, Jokic, is 28. And we see what Jokic is doing. And Jokic's on a tear. So I absolutely don't. I'm not mad. Excuse me, I'm about to say it wrong. I'm not mad that Mike Malone said that because he has the guys that can do that. For to be a dynasty, you just need what 2-3 rings. I think Denver can get that within the next 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 years. I think they can be a dynasty. Golden State is on the decline. Well, not decline, but they're getting older. They're not getting younger. LeBron is getting older. LeBron's 38, so they look like they're poised to take over. I'm not mad at it at all. And plus, I mean, Mike Malone is probably tired of everybody still not talking about the Nuggets. The Nuggets probably still don't get their respect. I don't really watch big media like that, but I know one show I was watching, they don't want to talk about the Nuggets. So I'm not mad at them. Try to get your team that media that they so rightfully deserve. They won the ring. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all might not like it, but Denver needs to be talked about.
JMO?
Look, man, I love it. When I watched it, I trying got me hyped. He was like, "Hey, look, we ain't satisfied with one. We want more." I was like, "Yes, sir. That's how you do it." Like Jokic don't talk much. Mike Malone's like, "I'm here to talk for you." Like I've been talking for my man Jokic since before he won the MVP. Mike Malone been preaching, about this. So I love what he said, man. Confidence is everything. Um, I mean, if you look at what I like about that championship is that they built through the draft. It wasn't like a super team put together. And if you look at the last two dynasties, true dynasties that touched this league, the San Antonio Spurs, and then you got the Warriors. Well, you could throw the Lakers in there too. My bad. Lakers three-peated and then Kobe won too. So, like those true dynasties that dominated for multiple championships time and time again, those were built through the draft. That's why I didn't bring up the Lakers. They traded for Shaq, but the Spurs and the Warriors, they were built through the draft. So like I think that the Nuggets, like Carl said, are poised to try to make a run at multiple championships. Even if other teams come back healthy, the Nuggets are still in the mix. It's not like they just won a championship because everybody got hurt and it was fluke. And like this is a pretty good championship. So some people had the Lakers beating them easy, and they swept them. So like I give them credit for this championship, and I think they're poised to make a run at a few more, man. They built through the draft, so it's sustainable. It's not like they put it together easy. So that's why I'm at with it. And then pause. Even the teams like the Heat and the Celtics, outside of Jimmy Butler coming in, they built mostly through the draft. Both of those teams. So like they're competing every year for the last few years, and they're not a super team that was put together. So some people are trying to get together like and win a ring right quick. Other teams are competing because they built through the draft, and the Nuggets just won that way.
One
Dave?
would argue the Heat didn't build through the draft.
Dave, nope.
Undrafted
Dave,
players.
Dave, go ahead, Dave. Dave, go ahead, man.
Yeah, technically, yeah, but
Yeah,
I think it
pretty
falls
much.
under the lines of what I'm saying.
I mean, we only got two players on the team that we originally drafted, and that's Tyler Hero and Bam. Everyone else was either undrafted or traded there or signing trade. But yeah, I'm cool with it. They just won the title. They just won a title in the tough West. For one, they ran through the West. They didn't go 7 games against anybody. So they did what they were supposed to do. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Carl read off all the ages. This is a young team. This team is this is a young deep team as well. So they got a lot of chances to be able to make multiple runs in the West. And look at the other teams in the West. The Warriors might not be the same. Their GM's gone. Draymond might be getting traded. Who knows what else happens with that team? Look at Dame. Dame might be getting. I mean, not that Portland is a threat, but Dame might be gone somewhere. Who knows what's going to happen with Phoenix? With Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton might be getting traded somewhere. LeBron James is not who he used to be. Who knows how the Lakers are going to be next year? So they got a chance to be able to make a run in the West. I mean, if you look at all the other teams, Memphis is a young team, but they got some issues with John Morant. He's probably going to be suspended for like half the season because it's something that happened to him. Carl Anthony Towns making wild comments saying that he remembered as one of the people that changed the game. I don't see how when you can't even win a playoff series, but I digress. I mean, what other teams in the West? I mean, the Kings got a chance if they make some moves. They got a chance to if they get another big man or somebody or another stretch four that can help out on that team. The Kings might maybe, but who knows? I mean, they didn't get out of the first round, but they did play against the defending champions. So who knows how that happens? Who knows what happens? And then the Mavericks, didn't even make the playoffs this year. Something that that's an aspiration for them. Who knows what's going to happen with Kyrie? Kyrie's trying to make moves that like he's the owner of the team. So I feel like Denver has a huge chance to make a dynasty because everyone else seems like they don't know what they're doing, other than maybe the Kings.
That is a fact. That is a fact. I'm gonna make my answer quick because I know this next one it's really gonna shake the table right quick. But hey, Kev, I'm bringing this comment back up one more time so you can see what you wrote. You in timeout. You are in timeout. I just want you to know you better slow down when you type. Okay.
Wow.
That's all I'm gonna say. Hey,
major pause.
Man.
Major pause.
Man, matter of fact.
My goodness.
Pause, Granddad.
But look, hey, I don't got a problem with Malone saying that, man. Like, it's been a long time coming, man. Look, I don't got a problem with it. I think everybody up here can agree with that. And plus, like you said, look at the West. The landscape out West is kind of iffy. The only team you really see that kind of has the chemistry that the Nuggets have, if they get one more big man or stretch four, is the Kings. Because right now, Golden State really don't know how they're gonna come back. The Grizzlies are the Grizzlies, and we can go so on and so forth. We don't even know
about Phoenix, man. Let's not forget about Phoenix.
We don't know who's
I
gonna be
mentioned
there.
Phoenix, but
Kevin Durant and Devin Booker alone. Like,
yeah, but if they don't got a big man to stop Joker, then they just gonna look like everybody else.
And they need defense. Defense is what they was missing.
I'm saying you just said if the Kings could pick up somebody, why can't you say if the Suns could pick up somebody?
Because right now they really don't know what's going on, man.
And the Kings do. Okay.
But I also said the Kings have the chemistry. They just showed you that.
The Suns had a chance. I just want to see what they're going to do because Chris Paul.
I'm just saying, you bringing the Kings up, you should bring the Suns up too. That's what I'm saying. They got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
I didn't even mention the Clippers, but they just can't stay healthy. So
they can't stay healthy. I understood that one. I'm with you on that one.
But
why do Kev keep saying Mavs tank like they was just tanking the whole season?
Exactly. Come on. Go ahead, Tomo. I want you to finish your point. I got more I got to say about the Mavs though.
My point is more so like the only reason I brought up the Kings and not the Suns is because if we talking about like if the season started today, the Kings know who are gonna be on their roster. If they go get like a JaVale McGee, that's just adding a piece to what they have right now. With the Suns, they really don't know which direction they're going in yet. Of course, you got KD and Book, but outside of that, it's too much turmoil right now. That's the only reason I didn't bring them up. They should be talked about, but that's why I didn't bring them up. But go ahead.
Does JaVale McGee get the Kings past the Warriors
next year? Yeah.
They get him on Shaq and the Fool.
Okay. All right. He got him a ring. He got the Warriors.
Yeah, with KD.
God, he got a ring with the Warriors.
Was there?
Look, they just need a shot blocker. Y'all acting like McGee got to go out there and get 40 or something.
Man, I'm just saying, a guy like McGee ain't taking the Kings to new heights.
But the Mavericks, come on, Kev. You can't keep talking about the Mavericks. You make it seem like when y'all made that trade with Kyrie that y'all knew y'all was going to tank. Boy, y'all was fighting for the playoffs and y'all lost it. That's why y'all tanked. Yeah. Y'all didn't gain nothing. Y'all lost.
You know what? I got something. This is what we're going to do. Since Kev want to talk about stuff, right? Since Kev want to talk about stuff, we talking about players. Which player needs to win their first ring next year? Since he want to talk about the Mavs, right? Luka need to be one of them players. He need to win a ring. Facts. He need to be one. I didn't even have him on my list because I wasn't even thinking about the Dallas team.
He was on mine.
Because they doing what Dallas team does. But Luka is my pick now because I was gonna say either Dame or CP3. That one of those two really need one. They desperately just need one. But Luka needs one now since they tanked. How you gonna make a trade and you tank?
They tanked out of the last 3 games. I don't want to hear that.
Dave, let me ask you because I ain't
Look like a
introduced the
tank.
topic. That's true. Let me ask you the professional way. I'm sorry because Kev made me upset. I had to give him that same energy he gave me in the chat. Which player needs to win their first ring next year, Dave?
Um, I'm gonna go with Joel Embiid. I feel like Embiid needs to do whatever he needs to do. He needs to be healthy throughout the playoffs, and he needs to go win his first ring. Not saying that it'll be close for him, but look at the look at the three people that's been in the MVP toss the last 3 4 years. It's been Embiid, Jokic, and Giannis. Two of those players have rings. He's the only one without one. So he has to do something. And that's whether they still have James Harden or not. And I don't think James Harden makes a big difference whether they can make it or not. I think if they were to get somebody from him, like if they was to go get Dame or something like that, that would be huge because Dame is one of those people that's not going. He's not going to shy away in the playoffs. He's going to do what's needed for him to be able to make it. So Embiid. Embiid needs to be that player to win it next year. He hasn't gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he hasn't gotten to the finals. So he needs to do whatever he needs to do, whether it's have a new workout regimen, something like that. I don't know what it is that he needs to do, but he needs to do whatever it takes to get his team to at least to the Eastern Conference Finals and to the finals and win a championship. So for me, it has to be Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has to do whatever it takes to make it to win the championship next year. He has to be number one.
My bad, Dave. J-Mo?
Facts, Dave. Straight facts. Not only would I be excited because it's my team, right? But this is what he has to do. Like, this is what he get for winning an MVP. This is what you get. You win MVP. The next thing is to get out the second round. You talking about get to the finals. Get out the second round.
Expectations. That's what
Expectations. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't care if Harden is there or nobody cares who's on your team. Nobody cares. All right? Because as good as Harden played or did not play, as good as Dame can play or cannot play, did you play great? And B, did you average more than 33 points that you averaged in the regular season? No. Your points, you have the biggest drop in NBA history for points per game from regular season to the playoffs. It's ridiculous. He went from 33 points to like 24.
Julius Randle ain't beat him?
Nah, Julius Randle only averaged like 24, 25 in the regular season. So when he dropped down, it was bad. But yeah, that was a good one, though. Julius Randle was bum cheese. And don't you ever compare Embiid to what? No, Embiid the MVP. What? I'm not even going to say the other guy's name. Look, man.
Somebody ban him.
Look, man.
He has made bad comparisons his entire comment.
I told y'all he was in timeout. I don't even know why you brought it.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I apologize. My apologies.
Now you're talking about minus the MVP.
Embiid, how you gonna subtract? Look, Embiid, man, he has to get it done because this year was at least the year that I thought he was healthy enough to get it done. He was up 3-2, and you don't get it done. So, like, I don't care how good your second best player is. Your best player has to be the guy, and Embiid doesn't play like the guy. So it's not even just about him not winning. It's about how he loses. So first he got to work on losing the right way. And then, maybe if he played like he trying to lose the right way, he wouldn't lose. How about that? If he just play right, he will win. I don't know why he keep on trying to dance with Al Horford at the 3-point line. Take him in the paint and dog him. Y'all gonna get me started, man. And B, I think it's a clear guy. It's a clear first. I think he clears everybody as far as who needs to win a championship next. As far as CP3 and Harden and guys like that, it's out the window for me. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And even if they do get the ring, it'll be like a celebratory ring. Oh, they got a ring. It's not like they're gonna be the best player, Finals MVP, and move up in the top 10 or something like that. So it's like, a Jason Kidd type of ring would be just fine for those guys, just to make everybody be quiet. But I think Embiid is the clear first. I think if you had to throw somebody second, it has to be Tatum. Tatum doesn't have a regular season MVP, but he's constantly outdueled other number one options. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know how many years in a row. And
at least the last 2 years, and he's made it 4 or 5 times.
No, he went. Yeah, he went.
Conference Finals.
I mean, he went his rookie year. I don't even want to count that, but he went his rookie year. He was a leading scorer. He has to have like 6 now, maybe 5. I'll go with 5 to be safe. But he's been to the Easter Cup. They've been knocking. They went to the finals one time. They've been knocking on the door for a while. He's the best player, so he has to wear that. Another guy who will be coming up after Tatum, if not on the same level as Tatum, is Devin Booker. Not only does he have Kevin Durant on his team, but he's been to the finals as well. And once you get there, that's the standard you're held to. So I think Embiid though is a clear first. I think he's a clear first. I just think it's too. Tatum and Book. People saying they're young. That excuse is getting old. So they need to win. If they don't win, they got to be held accountable. Embiid, it's your turn. I don't care who we get next season. It's your turn.
Yep.
Carl.
All right, first of all, I want to say I guess that was called irony. Love it, J-Mo. That was funny. But man, look, y'all thought about it differently than me. I thought about it the way J-Mo just said, like a guy on the way out the league who needs a ring to like solidify that legacy. But now that y'all and then I was gonna say like this question is too early because we don't know what's gonna happen with CP3. We don't know what's gonna happen with Dame, Harden, and blase. But the way y'all put it, I gotta agree with Embiid. Y'all changed my mindset of how I was thinking about the question, and I agree. It's Embiid because for all the reasons y'all gave, you cried for an MVP, you got it. But Game 7, it was terrible. That's an elimination game. If I got to get on D-Book for how we looked in the elimination game, I got to get on you for how you looked in the elimination game. You look absolutely terrible. There's no way you should look that bad against Robert Williams and Al Horford. I know Robert Williams was in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year, I think last year, but you're the MVP. That shouldn't matter. Get your butt on the block and dominate like you're supposed to. So yeah, I agree. I do think it's Joel Embiid. I don't care like J-Mo said if Harden's there or not. Tyrese Maxey should be perfectly fine. I know Philly's going to make a move anyway, so I'm going to just speak on what they have right now, who's like they're going to be there now. Tyrese Maxey should be perfectly fine for you. So I agree with Embiid. I can't really say too much on this topic because, like I said, they took most of the points. But I like the fact that he brought up Tatum and D-Book because D-Book, I know I brought this up before, has been getting away with playing terribly in the last 3 elimination games. Nobody killed him for the way he played in his last 3 elimination games. So it's time for you to all these antics, all these faking, like when you faked with Luka, fake like you got hurt and then smiled and all this getting in Luka face just to, not do nothing when he dropped 27 points to your team at 27 points at half. All them antics, man. Hey, look, you're going to have to prove something now. And Tatum, I know a lot of people question his superstar ability. I applaud you for playing on that ankle Game 7. But you shouldn't have been in that situation. You shouldn't have been down 3-3 with a Game 7 to get past the Heat to the finals. That's on you. You shouldn't have been there. So I like the fact, and like Tomo said, Luka got to be in there because Luka is always top 5 for MVP to start the season, and he just consistently drops out of it. It's to the point where I'd be like, why do y'all fall for this every year? Y'all know y'all going to amp him to be MVP, and he's just going to drop right out of it.
See, Carl, I was saying Luka because Kev was getting on my nerves. I clearly agree with you guys on the panel that it is Embiid that does need the ring because of everything you all said. I don't need to reiterate the points because all we're going to do is just be saying the same thing that everyone already knows, the MVPs and not showing up when it's time to show up. But I want to address one thing before we get out of here. Kev, you want to compare Dak to an NBA player? Carl just said it. It's Luka. That's it. Luka, Josh Allen, and Dak are the same person. If you want to compare people, none of them got an MVP, but they all got the accolades. So there you go. I'm gonna give you the comparison you need. Not no Embiid minus the MVP. You don't even gotta do that because Luka's standing right in front of you.
Well, Luka has gotten farther than that. He's at least gotten to the Western Conference Finals. So
Luka, all NBA, first team, 4 years and running.
Right.
So Luka Purdy?
No. Heck no.
I didn't.
Jimmy Butler Purdy.
No, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that.
Get J-Mo off the show now. Get J-Mo off the show now.
Hey, look, I might have to say Jared Goff.
And with that being said,
I had to say Jared Goff.
And with that being said, y'all can clearly see we're ready for the NFL season. But we got to wrap this thing up, man. You know, talking basketball, we can be on here for another 2 hours, but who gonna do that? Not tonight. We gotta get out of here. So I want to say, we gonna before we wrap this up again. Y'all know about the chats. Make sure y'all join the chats at Refuse to Lose. Refuse the number 2 lose. If I bring the banner up, then you can screenshot it. Won't I do that? Right? Let me give me about 20 seconds, y'all, because you know, when y'all help us get monetized, then we're gonna have somebody make this magic happen. Again, we got the NBA/WNBA, NFL. Hats off to Teddy. We got the Major League Baseball or MLB for the people who just like acronyms. College football, college basketball, men's and women's. Boxing. I don't know why you keep showing that because Spartans suck. Boxing mixed in with a little bit of UFC. Hey, I'm gonna let you respond in your last words. But again, you get the latest news, updates, trades, and everything when you join these chats. Hit us up on Instagram, and you must participate because when you participate, you end up on the show, and you can win awards if you come on here and you spit some knowledge. Now we're gonna get into these last words because I know Carl got something he want to say, and because of that, you're gonna go last. J-Mo.
It's always a pleasure, man. Come on here, you know, spit some facts, you know, coming from the reigning NBA Analyst of the Year for Refuse to Lose. Man, shout out the whole Refuse to Lose family. Shout out to Joe, who's probably somewhere in the comments. Shout out to Tomo, you know, Dave. You know, y'all put this together. And shout out to my boy Carl. This is the first basketball episode we got, bro. So
Yes, sir.
let's hopefully we get another one.
Yes, sir.
You know, keep up on your facts. You gotta keep up now.
Carl.
Hey, with that being said, shout out to Nick Nurse.
Carl.
I ain't gotta say too much about the Terps. Just look at the game against Alabama in the tournament. Anyway, so first of all, as always, it's a pleasure to be on the show. Like I said, I always appreciate y'all for having me. I have to say it every time because I really do appreciate the fact that y'all think I know enough to be on the show. Second of all, I know in the baseball chat, I said the Tigers was going to get some dubs today. We lost both games. Lost the second one is a heartbreaker, 6-5. It sucks. They play the music. Tigers are slowly going downhill. Somebody to chop the leg off. We 3-legged right now. So, man, it is what it is. Draft next week. Pistons. Let's make some trades, baby. Let's get Killian Hayes off the roster any way possible. Any means necessary. Let's get Killian Hayes out of here. Shout out to Monty Williams. 5 more flocking years. I'm done.
Carl, you know Killian Hayes will fight for his spot.
He did it against a Michigan player. I'm good.
Man, my last words. I'm gonna go ahead because Dave, I'm gonna let you close the show out, man. My last words just so, man. Hey, the Wizards is trying to make something happen. I don't think they are going to make it happen because Bradley Beal contract is too crazy, and I don't know any team that's just going to be like, look, we'll give you all these young players so we can get Bradley Beal. So we'll see what happens. But also, Cowboys, can y'all just make it to the conference final so I can now compare Dak to Luka? And another thing, hey, Bills, if y'all don't want Diggs no more, man, just say that. You know, Josh Allen, y'all man, right? He the man. He on the Madden cover. So just go ahead and trade Diggs to a team where he can be respected, you know? Quarterback can get him the ball and not cry about it. Dave?
I don't know how to follow up with that. But as upset as I should be, good job, Miami Heat, for at least getting to the NBA Finals.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
I knew you was going to do something. I knew he was. But shout out to Eric Spo. May not be the best coach in the NBA, but definitely top 3. One of the best coaches, greatest coaches in the NBA. Give you your flowers now before anyone does. You did everything you were supposed to do with this roster that you had. With the injuries, with everything, you still were able to get a number 8 seed all the way to the NBA Finals. So great job, Eric Spo. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, do whatever you need to do to be ready for the regular season. There's a lot of things that got to be done for us to make it back to the Super Bowl and bring another one to San Francisco. So do whatever needs to be done. Not worried about the defense, but offense, let's do something. Quarterback, that's what we're missing. Red Sox, good win last week. I mean, we haven't been winning lately, but, you know, good series win last week against the Yankees. Can't wait to be on the show. And I just want to end it with this. I know we talked about versatility earlier in the show about some shots. I'm going to be taking some other shots right now to some other people. One of them are not on the show today, but I just want to say I'm the most versatile analyst of the three of us. So
What three?
I want to say that because I've been on baseball, I've been on college basketball, I've been on football, NBA, and college football.
Hey, Teddy.
You and Joe.
Hey, Teddy.
So
You talking about you and Joe?
I know he's on about. I know he's on about.
So,
Don't worry about it.
so that's a shot at you, Tomo,
Don't
and
worry
Joe.
about it. That ain't no problem.
Can we take a shot at Kev for saying a 15-yard drag?
That ain't no problem.
Yeah,
I
be
told you he
quiet.
had
You
time
are
out.
in time out. All right.
What the
You
hell
are
is
in time out,
what is a
Kev.
15-yard drag?
None of your
Dig at
comments.
that.
None of your comments have made sense today.
That's how far he dragged that joke. Come on, man.
I think you're a little upset because Jokic is arguably better than Dirk. So you might be you're probably upset right now about that. So, but thank y'all for tuning in. This was a great show today. See y'all next time. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.